Hi there, my name is Charlene Brown. I am today teaching, this video will be about an excerpt from a class called Creating Dynamic Curricula. And in this class, I take you through all of the steps on how to create a good curriculum for any kind of class that you want to teach. The piece that we'll talk about today is going to be timing. Timing of a class. This is situated just after the trajectory arc, which is kind of the overview of the whole class. And so this is right in the middle of that particular curriculum creation course. So for timing, your guiding questions are always going to be, how much time do I actually have for this class, and how is that time broken down? My favorite thing to say is you always want to break things down into bite-sized pieces, into manageable or chewable parts, something that one could digest easily. You want to make space you want to remember to leave space at the beginning and the end for like a warm-up period and a cool-down period. Warm-up period might be something like rehashing the material from the previous course or the previous unit, and a cool-down material might be something like reviewing for a final, for instance. We all learn differently, so there's a couple ways to do this. I'm usually inclined to words, so one way to figure out my timing would be to create a chart like this. So this has, you can see across the top, there's a warm-up period, and then 5 periods of time chunk, and then a cool down period, and then as you fill in the chart, you would add sort of some of the general topics and themes that you might cover in that particular unit of time or period of time. To make that a little bit more concrete, I took an example of an art history class at perhaps the college level. So I still have my warm up and my cool down, but I also divided that. These particular periods are divided by sort of time period and geographic location. So I have an ancient art when the Stone Age period, I have a Near and Middle East. Here I have Greek and Roman art, early Christian art, and medieval art. And here again, you would leave space to add the general topics and themes that you might want to cover in timing. So we also leave plenty of room for the warm-up and cool-down period, and space is left as well for topics you would want to cover in those time frames as well. Another example, since we do all learn differently, another example of the same concept would be to maybe someone who speaks more in shapes rather than words. This might speak to them a little bit better. So same class, art history. In these smaller circles, I would have the time period chunks, and then attached to each of those, I would have some of the themes and topics or ideas that I would want to cover. Just to recap what we talked about here, in anytime you're planning a course or curriculum for whatever class it is that you may be teaching, when you're talking about timing, you want to make sure you know how much time you have. Do you have a semester? Do you have a few weeks? Is it a one-time 3-hour class? And you also want to make sure you know which units that time is broken into. Is it 45 minutes to 50 minutes every single day in maybe a K-12 setting? Or in a college setting, is it 1 or 1.5 hours twice a week for a semester? So timing is about how much time you have for the whole course, and then what are your individual units of time as you progress through the course. Again, my name is Charlene Brown. I hope you enjoyed this segment on timing for Fantastic Curricula, and we'll see you again soon. Take